Alright, we're here to talk with my grandma today about what life was like when she was growing up. Um, First thing I want to ask is something about the family you grew up with.
The family I grew up with, I had one brother, a mom, and a dad.
Okay, anything that they'd like to do?
We always did outdoor stuff.
Okay, where do you live?
Waterford,
Alright. How many brothers and sisters do you say you have?
one brother.
And what's your relationship, or what was your relationship like with him growing up?
I worshipped him.
How so? Like, what do you like about him?
He wouldn't let anybody pick on me,
Okay.
but he'd beat me up.
Yeah.
Typical brother-sister stuff.
Did that change, like, how you thought of guys and, kind of how you interacted with them? Like, were you kind of the feisty one?
Kind of.
Um, how old were you when your parents passed away?
Let's see, my dad died in 97. So I was 63 when he died,
Okay.
I think. And mom died in '01. So I'd have been 61, 2.
Okay. What were some of the biggest
No, I
things?
was 63 when mom died.
Okay. What's the biggest things that you learned from your parents?
Biggest thing is I learned basically respect
Okay.
yourself as much as you do others.
Okay.
To be honest.
So you say you grew up in a fairly old-fashioned household?
Oh yeah. Not much money. Had to share a bedroom with my brother till I was about 13, 14, something like that. And lived payday to payday like the average person did back in the 40s and 50s.
How did that affect the family that you created?
I tried to instill in my children to be honest and fair and not fight as much with each other as I did with my brother. I had two cousins too that I grew up with. They were like older brothers too. And I just tagged along wherever they went. I went traipsing through the woods, whether we went fishing or swimming or whatever.
Okay.
I did what the boys did.
Very fun.
There wasn't any girls around.
Okay. So there wasn't many houses around yours growing up?
Our neighborhood had about 12 houses, and the first girl moved into the neighborhood when I was about 10.
Okay. And I see now there's hundreds of houses. It's very
There's over
developed.
400 in our neighborhood now.
Yeah. Do you like that it's developed, or did you like it when it was more dispersed and spread out?
I liked it spread out. There's too many houses, too much pollution.
Okay. How did you, like, start your family? How did you meet your spouse?
In school.
School? Okay. So did you meet in high school or college? Where at?
Well, actually, we went to the same elementary school in the 6th grade, but I didn't know him because he was in a different class.
Okay.
And then in junior high, we had a class together, and he sat behind me, and I couldn't stand him.
Did he pick on you?
He would write with ink on the back of my neck. And then we didn't date until our senior year.
Okay. What's the biggest anniversary that you got to?
45th.
All right. Tell me more about your kids.
They're all different.
I know that for a fact.
They each gave me 2 grandkids.
Mhm.
And I have one special grandson. The
In
rest
what
are girls.
Mm-hmm.
They're spread out from 3 to 23.
In what ways are they different individually?
Individually, I would say that all three are hard workers.
Mm-hmm.
They give more to their employer than most would. How are they different? They still try to horse around like they were 15 again. And your mother's the one that always got broke. And it was usually your Aunt Shelley that broke her collarbone or something. But if your mother wanted to do something, she was going to do it. She didn't care the consequences.
Same thing as today.
Oh yeah, she'll never change.
I know.
Why should she?
Yeah. What was your favorite thing about having kids?
Having kids? The love they give you.
Okay.
Unconditional.
Did you raise them in Waterford as well?
Oh yes.
Okay.
We stayed in Waterford because Waterford schools were really good when we grew up. They were, I say, pretty good when the girls went through, but today I wouldn't stay in Waterford for the schools.
Okay. Do you think the schools instilled values in them as well as yourself, or more so just you?
I'd say the schools to a point, because they got away with more at school than they would at home. My father was very strict with us, and I was fairly strict with the girls because their dad worked 2 jobs.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about having grandkids?
They're the best. You could spoil them and send them home.
What's your favorite activities to do with them?
With them? I just enjoy going for the walks.
Okay.
Whether we go to the zoo or a park, or when we go boating or camping or whatever we did with them, I just enjoy having the kids around.
Okay. Do they make you feel like you're young again? In a way?
I don't think you can include that word again because I never have felt old.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. If you think you're old, you're going to act like you're old. And up until last November, I don't think I acted like I was very old.
I'll agree with that.
But broken legs kind of change your mind.
Do you have any favorite pictures of your family? Or favorite settings that you were ever in?
The graduations.
Okay.
Made me very proud. Let's see. Their graduation parties here in the garage and house, and the number of people that showed the love and support for them.
Okay. What jobs have you had over the years?
Well, I started out working with my dad in a jewelry store. Then I was an usher in a theater when I was 16.
What did you do in the jewelry store?
What did I do? I would help with books keeping and wait on customers. And as I got older, I would help fix watches. I would polish rings. Just about anything needed to be done except soldering.
Okay.
He wouldn't let me solder because my eyes were going bad, and that escalated.
Do you think that made you pickier with people buying your jewelry in the future?
Oh, most definitely.
Do you have any favorite pieces of jewelry you wear every day or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the last thing your grandpa bought for me.
Okay. It's really pretty.
And then I had to go pay for it after the funeral.
Have you retired?
Yes.
How do you enjoy your retirement?
The reason I retired I didn't like, but the time off I do. No, I retired because Grandpa was sick,
Mm-hmm.
but after he passed, I glad I don't have to get up in the morning anymore.
Okay.
The favorite part is sleeping.
Do you have any other activities you like to do with friends? Like I know you like to go out to lunch with old friends once in a while. Any other things?
Yeah, I go. Well, I still like to go up to East Hiawass and go camping with the old group.
Mm-hmm.
That has just about everybody's moved away but me, and just talk to old friends. And I've recently reconnected with girls I went to high school with and college with, and we go out to dinner or go to a play or something
Okay.
like that.
Do you have any favorite place?
Favorite place? Yeah, but I can't remember the name of it.
Okay. What about historical events throughout your life? What are some of the big ones that you remember?
That I remember?
Yeah.
The Nike site in Commerce,
Okay.
where if we went by the rockets or whatever they were called at that time would be up in the air, that meant we were on high alert.
Okay.
I think I was the first generation of the Salk vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
They gave a sugar cube at school.
What for?
Polio.
Okay.
Let's see, what else? Historical events.
Um.
The biggest one was Kennedy was shot.
Okay. Do you remember where you were when that happened?
I sure do. I was at the bank working. I'd come home from college, got a job at the bank. I was in the cafeteria, and somebody came up and said, the president's been shot. And there was a group of us there. We said, okay, what's the punchline? We thought they were telling a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And it was no joke. And then from the next few days, all you saw on TV was about Kennedy
Okay.
being shot.
How old were you when you first started to learn to drive?
To learn to drive?
Yeah.
About 10.
Okay. What kind of car was it?
Model T.
All right.
A neighbor had one back in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd let us kids drive it.
Okay. Was there supervision, or was it just you kids messing
No,
around?
he was he was there with us.
Okay.
He would supervise, but we would drive it on the back roads, hauling sand from the gravel pit down to make the beach bigger, and,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd go swimming. And he always had stuff for us to eat, and he was just an old bachelor that lived back in the woods.
Okay. What's the favorite car you've ever got to drove?
The favorite one I ever drove? Let's see. I don't know. Had to be a convertible.
Of course.
I had a Cadillac one time that went pretty good.
Do you remember what kind it was?
Fast, because I punched it and I almost lost it. It had a lot more power than what I ever drove before. But I like fast cars.
Okay. Do you think maturing in age has changed that at all?
Oh no,
Do you think it's made it even more so that you like fast cars just to get around fast and have fun?
not really.
Okay.
I try and behave more now than I did when I was young.
Okay. Were you raised in a church?
Yes,
What church?
Four Towns Methodist on Cooley Lake Road in Waterford.
Okay. From like your young years, what do you remember about religion? Like, what were you first learning?
The Ten Commandments,
Okay.
we memorized that. I don't know, just the different Bible stories from the beginning to the end, and the church activities we always had a youth group on Sunday evenings, and it was, most of it was the kids I went to school with, so
Okay. Did you go to a religious school?
no.
Okay.
Went to public school all the way through.
What's your most appreciative thing about faith? Or what do you appreciate most about your faith?
What do I appreciate most about my faith? That you're never alone.
Okay. What is the happiest time of your life? Or what made your life happy over the duration of your life?
My marriage and my kids.
Okay. What about now? What things make you most happy now? Is there any certain activities that you like to do?
See my grandkids.
Alright. What are the best things about being your age now?
My age now? Can I say this or not? People expect older people
Mm-hmm.
to do and say what they want when they want, and they do.
Yeah, they do.
Your grandpa always said, little kids and little old ladies say what they want when they want.
If you could share words of wisdom with younger people, what would they be?
Be true to yourself.
Okay.
Follow your dreams. And don't let anybody discourage you.
Have you followed that in your life?
No. I was going to be a school teacher.
Okay. What were you going to teach?
Math. Either that or elementary education.
Okay.
That's what I went to Eastern for. And when I got sick the second semester, so I dropped out of Eastern and went to a business college down in Ypsilanti. And when I went to go back, I lacked $100. And I asked my dad for it, and he said no. And they didn't have student loans and stuff like that, like
Okay.
they do today for kids to go to school. And we didn't have community college yet. So I came home, got a full-time job, and ended up getting married and having kids. In fact, I got fired from the bank because I was pregnant.
Hmm.
They can't do that now.
I'll say, is that even legal?
Not now. It was then, but
If you could live your life over again, would you change anything?
would I change anything? Yes.
What would it be?
I think I'd finish school.
Okay.
Somehow, some way, I would have, I would have figured out a way to do it.
Okay. Do you know anything now that you wish you would have known back then?
Oh yeah, how much time do you have?
And does age truly make anyone more wise?
I think so. I think you learn more by your mistakes than you do by just a smooth sail.
Okay. Alright. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.